everyone, it's me and Maggie coming to you from Casa Sanders in our living room. So we're on day 2 of volume, but before we talk about volume, I wanted to talk about something real quickly that is really important to me, and it is you guys being nice to each other. You would think that everyone would be kind to each other during this time of trial, but apparently some people have not been super kind during some Google Hangouts. So just know that we're aware of that, and you will not be allowed to participate in Google Meets or Google Hangouts if we can't fix that. Okay. So also just know that these things are very easily recordable, and you do not want to be a part of cyberbullying, which is what it is if you aren't kind online. So that being said, I know we're going to get better at that because I want everyone to participate. And we all need to come together right now, right? Right. Okay, day 2. Oh my. Oh, okay. Day 2 of volume. Quick review. Perimeter. Perimeter is the rim, right? So it's the fence. It's the distance around something. Area, as we know, side by side, or length times width. Okay, so as we go into volume, this is nothing new. It's just a review of what we talked about on Tuesday. We're going to hypothesize for a second. So, Max, can I have that first box, please? Actually, I need both boxes. So, guys, like I said before, you know we're in the middle of something serious when I have a real box of legit, real Frosted Flakes. Bring out the tiger, the mighty, mighty tiger, because normally my kids are all eating the Great Value brand, but they were out. So not only do they get the real Tony the Tiger, they get the family size, which she's super pumped about. Yes. Okay. So I have here 2 coronavirus quarantine staples: cereal and ramen. Okay. So let's look at these boxes. Skinny and tall. Kind of not too wide. Okay. Not very tall. Okay. Which one do you think holds the most stuff? If I were going to fill these up with inch-sized cubes, which one do you think would hold more? What do you think, Max?
Maybe that one.
Why?
Because
It's fatter. Okay. Let's see. What we're going to do now is let's actually measure this. So let's do Tony the Tiger first. So, where's the marker? Write these down for me, Mags.
Okay.
Because we're in 5th grade and we know how to do this, I'm going to do this to half inches. So, Mags, I need you to write 7.5 right there. Okay, so it's 7.5 is the width. Let's say the length. Let's do 3. So do an X for times and do 3. That's perfect, yes. Because you always label. Even in 2nd grade, she knows you're supposed to label. Okay, and then for our height, we're going 13.5 times 13.5. Okay, now let's calculate this really quickly. All right, that's what I'm going to take over. So we're going to do 7.5 times 3. Now let's review. I'm going to do the 3 times 5, which is 15. And I'm going to carry that to the tens place. 3 times 7 is 21, plus the 1 I carried. So I have 22. Now, I have 1 digit to the right of my decimal point. So in my answer, I'm going to have 1 digit to the right of the decimal point. Okay? Now, and does that make sense? 7 times 3 is 21. So 22 and 5/10 does make sense. Okay, now I've done that. This part. Now I can't forget this. So I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to do 13. You know what? We haven't learned to do this yet. So let's round this to 14 because we round the 5 up. Correct? Correct. So let's do times 14. So I'm going to start with my ones place. I'm going to do 4 times 5 is 20. I'm going to carry that 2. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. and I'm going to do 4 times 2 plus 1. Now, I'm done with the ones place. So, I'm going to do my placeholder in the ones because we've already done the ones place. So now, I'm just going to do 1 times 5, 1 times 2, 1 times 2. And after I add that up, I've got 1 digit to the right, 1 digit to the right. So, oops, it isn't squares that fill up this Tony the Tiger box. It is cubes. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and move the 315 inches cubed up here, because that's the same as that, correct? So, will you get me something to erase this with real quickly? Okay, so that is Frosted Flakes. Okay, so now let's measure and do the volume for the ramen noodles. So the ramen noodles, you erase it, have a dimensions of 7.5 by 10. I love that one. I love anything times 10. Well, dude, I already wrote that. Okay, that's fine. So, I know. 7.5 times 10 inches. Now, guys, times 10, we're going to shift it over once. We're going to jump over that decimal. Let's go ahead and, I can already do that. That's going to be 75 inches squared. Now, what that means is, this flat surface right here, I could fit 75 squares, flat squares, would fill this up, okay? Now, 75 flat squares, let's see how many layers it's gonna take. So, if I measure the height, Max, stop. If I measure the height, let's say it's 4.5. So, if I do 4.5 layers of 75, let's do times 4.5. 4 5/10. So, I'm going to multiply. 5 times 5 is 25. I'm going to carry that 2. 5 times 7 is 35, plus the 2 is 37. All right, I'm done with the ones place, so I'm going to put my placeholder. I'm going to do 4 times 5 is 20, carry the 2. 4 times 7 is 28, plus the 2 is 30. So now, what's it going to be? So, I've got 1 digit to the right of the decimal. I've got 1 digit to the right of the decimal. All right, guys. My ramen noodles box is 337 5/10 inches. My Frosted Flakes is 315 inches square or cubed. So, Mags, you're right. Ramen noodle box is bigger. Okay, so your challenge today is to get 2 rectangular prisms. So that can either mean something that looks like this, something that's a cube. It has to have a rectangle or a square as the base. Okay, and it needs to go straight up and down. No pyramids, nothing round. It needs to look like a rectangular or square box. Your challenge is to get 2 items, hypothesize which one has a greater volume, and then I need you to measure and calculate the volume on both and report back your findings, okay? So let's review like we did on Tuesday. If you don't have a tape measure or a ruler, you are free to get something. Like I could measure with something. Well, look, I can measure this with my phone. So 1, 2, it's about 3 phone lengths. That's a little bit more than 1 phone length. So if I wanted to measure this was 3 phone lengths square. It gets a little weird, but you can use that if you don't have a ruler, okay? Okay, I know y'all don't all like to do Flipgrid videos because you don't like other people to see you. So what we're going to do instead on this one is we are going to I want you to create a video on Seesaw. So go into Seesaw, go into your account. The folder when you get it done is going to be digital learning. But instead of uploading a picture, you're just going to create a video. That way you can talk to me and I can see it, but no one else can see it. Okay. So I would love to hear how you're doing. Please don't make your video 10 minutes long because I've got like almost 100 of you guys to grade. But please, 2 different items. Which one do you think has a bigger volume? And then you don't have to calculate the volume in front of me. You don't want to. But report back what the volume was and how you found it. I am going to give you a grade on this. It's going to be a 1, 2, or a 3. So totally wrong, no idea, that's a 1. You got it wrong, maybe you did the length times the height, but not the width. If you did something funky like that, that would be a 2. If you get it all right and you give me a good explanation, then you got a 3. Okay. Also, don't forget there is one more activity to do that is also for a grade. You're going to turn that in on Google Classroom. All right. Love you guys. Be kind to each other. Show your maturity by being kind in this time. And don't hesitate to email me or ring me up 9 to 10:30 every morning. Bye. Tony the Tiger says bye.